Welcome to the Begin with Yes show with your host, Paul Boynton.
Hello, I'm Paul Boynton, and welcome to Begin with Yes. It's exciting to be here with you, and I'm excited that Sandi Duncan, my friend who you may have seen on an earlier show, decided to come back and do what I'm calling a big reveal, which is kind of a little bit hokey, but I can be a little bit hokey once in a while. But it's good to have you watching us, and I want to begin the show on kind of a sad note because I've been talking to a lot of the people on my Begin with Yes Facebook fan page, and a lot of people are going through some really difficult times right now, and I can't always reach out to people and have private conversations with people, but I do want people to know that I care about what they're going through, and that if they've been around as long as I have, and like most of us, they're in a circle of people who have dealt with some really challenging, difficult times. And I don't want to say, oh, things will get better. I want to say to you that you just hang in there and you just keep showing up and you just keep doing the very best that you can. And the very best that you can is good enough for right now. So stay with us on Begin with Yes. Come there every day and take from it what will help you. And congratulations to you for having the guts and determination and stick-to-itness that you have shown me day in and day out. And you inspire me, I bet, more than I inspire you. So with that, I want to say to Sandi Duncan, who, not the actress, but the dancer, thank you for coming back, Sandi.
Happy to be here again, Paul.
I know.
Thank you so much for inviting me back.
And, you know, the last time we talked, I alluded to the fact that you had something that you could talk about that was pretty exciting in your life and a change in your life. Mm-hmm. And so I know some people who saw your live shows have said, I wonder what Sandi's up to. So, and I know what Sandi's been up to, but share with the people watching what's going on in your life right now. What's happening that is the big reveal?
Well, I've made a conscious effort to follow my heart, and I've had a dream of wanting to be in New York City. My daughter lives there, and I've always wanted to go there and experience the culture there and experience the dance world there. So I'm going to be spending half of my time in New Hampshire during the week and half of my time in New York City. I've recently sublet an apartment to be there on the weekends and or weekdays, depending on where my schedule takes me. But I'm going to be just spending some time there and just getting to know the city a bit more and taking classes myself and trying to reignite my own little spark again, because I feel like sometimes we get a little lost in our creativity and our art, and I'm going to go back and just kind of go there for a bit and just kind of really try to reignite my love of the art that I am involved in on a regular basis, and just kind of explore. Just to become an explorer.
I am so excited for you, and I please don't take this the wrong way, but you're not a spring chicken, right?
No, I'm not.
No, and neither am I.
In my head I am, but no.
It doesn't matter how old we are. Mm-hmm. We still have dreams, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes we've had dreams about doing things for a long, long time.
Right.
And I do think that not every dream that we have has to come true.
Right.
It's like,
absolutely.
And some dreams that, like, I've always wanted to play the piano, but I even actually bought a keyboard, mm-hmm. and then it stayed in my room for over a year, and I mm-hmm. finally gave it away to my son because mm-hmm. I realized that, Paul, you know, maybe as much as you've wanted to play the piano, maybe you can let go of that one because it's and I'm not sort of advocating to let go of dreams. I'm just saying every once in a while it's probably good to sort through your dreams and sort of reprioritize. Mm-hmm. And I got to the place where I said, you know what, I did want to play the piano, and it would be fun if I could play the piano, but I think I'm going to settle for listening to somebody else play beautiful piano music so that I can move on to something else. And I know we talked about you teaching me how to tap dance, mm-hmm. and that was one of those dreams that I could have sort of let go of, but I didn't want to because as I prioritized things in my own life, I said, That's something I still want to hang on to. And
Look at all the fun we had.
I know, and talk about no spring chicken. It's like,
but you did great.
Right. Well, thank
did great.
you. And
I hope you're practicing.
I am practicing, and I'm not ready to give up on getting better at it. But anyway, so back to your story.
Okay.
It sounds like this has been in the back of your mind for a while.
Well, as a young dancer many years ago, many years ago, I had the dream of going to New York, and it was just something that I didn't have the courage to do. I didn't have the family backing. It just wasn't something way back then that I had. I don't know. I didn't have it in me at that point to do that, and never had any regrets in what I did with the next, season of my life. But it's always been in the back of my head that I love that city. Well, come to find out, my daughter decides that she wants to become a makeup artist and goes to school in New York City and has decided to make her home there. And I'm watching her at 18, now 23, live out her dream. And I thought, wow, she's really got a lot of courage, and she's got a lot of just bravery in order to do that at 18 and not have any connection in that area of her life in regards to makeup. And she did it, and she made it happen. And I watched that, and I thought, maybe I'll do this for a short amount of time, even if it's just for a few months, or just something different, step out of my, I know it's cliche, but step out of my comfort zone, because I'm always one that kind of stays comfortable in regards to where I live and near family, near friends. And doing something like this is totally out of the norm for me, and a little risky, but at the same time, so exciting. Exciting.
Talking to you is exciting for me, and so many things go through my mind. I wish I had a pencil and paper and I was writing down all the thoughts, but we wouldn't have time to talk about all the things that we talk about. But one thing, I think that we can look back on our lives and we can focus on regrets. And I kind of think that maybe your time in New York wasn't meant to be.
I agree
20
with you.
years ago.
I agree with you completely.
Maybe this is your time in New York. And even if you were meant to go to New York 20 years, it didn't happen. So what good does it do to replay that in your head over and over again?
Right.
And I think if people are finding themselves playing those kinds of thoughts in their head, they need to say, well, I can't do anything about 20 years ago, but I can do something about right now, and what's that going to be? And with some of the things that people talk about, like moving to New York or going back to college or writing a book or becoming an artist or finding a partner, a romantic relationship, or all those things that seem really complicated and almost undoable in one leap.
Right.
They tend to begin to happen by taking those small steps.
Right.
And so I'm curious if you can go back to the first small step you took to make New York happen.
Well, I kind of decided to set some goals, and not just set them, but actually figure out how I could take action. I was feeling personally a little stuck in my life. No reason other than I was holding myself back.
Right. We'll get in line for that, because we all do that.
Yeah. So there was no reason for me to feel stuck. It was just, there was a lot of family obligation that I love my job, so I didn't want to leave there. So I figured out in my head how I could do everything that I wanted to do. So I'm going to do part-time there, part-time here. I'll still be able to come home and see my parents that need a little bit of help from me for health reasons. And so I just sorted it all out. I instead of allowing myself to say I can't do that, which I had been saying for a while, and the fact that I hadn't seen my daughter for 5 months, and I thought, this isn't how I want to live my life. I want to be able to do it all.
Well, you bring up a really important point, and that is that I never tell people to not deal with what's real in their life. We all have realities. You have parents that need some assistance from time to time. You need to earn a living. You need to buy groceries. You need a roof over your head.
Right.
So there are all kinds of realities that are just part of life. And so I think what we all need to do is what you're doing, is that how can we find a way to, with one foot on the ground, have one foot in the air, moving towards something outside of the zone in which we're comfortable.
And it's fun.
And it's like there's almost nothing, and I hesitate to say nothing because I'm sure that there is something that someone could think of, but there's always a way to begin moving in the direction towards something that's important to
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And so I'm curious if you can just think of one small thing you did like 6 months ago or 4 months ago, or just one small step, because the begin with yes thing that I'm most excited about, or one of the things I'm most excited about, is the small step theory. It's like you don't have to find an apartment
Right.
today.
Right.
So what's a small step that was part of your journey in getting this off the ground?
I think the one small step was realizing that I was the person that was holding myself back.
All right.
I don't even know if that was a step, but I realized that I wasn't opening my eyes and opening my heart enough to see what I could really do in my life. And I guess taking my first step to actually move forward was telling a good friend and telling my daughter that this is what I'm going to do. And I guess I needed a little bit of encouragement to say, no, you're not, off the wall with these thoughts, but and taking action and making it happen. And the step that I took, which I guess was a big step, was to actually go and sublet an apartment for a few months to see if I even liked New York City and in a way to live.
And let's break that. I found a sublet. How did you find the sublet? Because that was small steps too, right?
I was on there's a Facebook page that you can go on and I had been looking at apartments on there for a long time and sublets, and happened to click on one and come to find out, and you don't have any idea of who is on this page and who owns the apartment. Come to find out, the person that owns the apartment was a tap dancer, and the person renting the sublet was the son of a friend of mine, and had no idea. No idea. And so that to me was I believe in signs, and that to me was a sign of, okay, go for it.
Yeah, these kinds of signs or guideposts in a way, they sort of reassure us that we're on the right path. They're pretty remarkable, but they don't happen before you step out.
Correct.
It's like, I think many times we are waiting for something to happen to motivate us or encourage us or tell us, and I don't think it happens that way. The universe comes in and helps us, but not until we put ourselves in a place where we need the universe to sort of step in. And your small step, and this is, I think, what I really want people to understand and really hear, is clicking on that Facebook page. That's a really small step. It took like less than a minute.
Right.
And it's those kinds of steps that people can take no matter how busy they are, how frightened they are, how lonely they are, how financially strapped they are. They can still find one small thing to do, and then one thing leads to another, to another, and that's how lives unfold.
I really feel like it empowers you when you start to take these small steps. It really starts to empower you, and you start to get a little more courage and a little more belief in yourself.
And the alternative is feeling like my dream is too big, or I'm overwhelmed, or I have too many other priorities, or I just don't.
Or my dream doesn't matter, or
The last thing I want to talk, and then we have to wrap this up, is how important is it to you to have other people in your life that support your dreams?
It's important. It's fun. I think more than needing a support system in regards to it, because I think I'm going to do it myself regardless if people think it's a good idea or not.
Right.
I think it's fun to have people that support you because you can share in the excitement of it and share in the fear of it. So I enjoy having people there supporting me, but it's okay if people look at me and think, you're a little nutty to be doing this. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think sometimes if people don't say that to you, then you're not dreaming big enough. I know there's a quote that's out there. I don't know who the author of the quote is, but they're saying
it's the Queen of England.
Maybe.
I give her all my quotes.
It is, maybe. But they say if people aren't telling you that you're crazy, then your dreams aren't big enough.
And so what do you do with the people who discourage you, or do you not have any of those people in
I
your
don't
life?
have people that discourage me. I sometimes have people that try to go towards the negative of, okay, how much is this going to cost? And
try to
and
make
that,
you
but
be realistic.
Yeah.
And it's good to be realistic, but there's a downside. If you're too realistic, then you just stay where you are.
Right.
And so there's no guarantee that I mean, you didn't have a guarantee that the guy that had the apartment in New York hadn't already rented it.
Correct.
You had to make the phone call
Correct.
and say,
Correct.
is it still available?
Correct.
So, hey, Sandy, it's great to see you always. I'm going to dig out my tap shoes.
Thanks for having me, Paul. I can't wait to tap with you again.
I know. And I can't wait to hear more. Maybe you can come back again after you've settled in New York a little bit and tell people about how it's, what it's like to live part-time in New York and part-time in New Hampshire. And
Maybe we can catch a show together.
Right, and follow your dream and take care of your parents and earn a living and do all those things. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Paul.
You know, I know that you are more like Sandy than you may think, and I know that you have dreams too, and I hope that Sandy inspires you in the way that she inspires me to stay focused and take another small step today to make something good happen in my life. So thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Begin With Yes. And oh, by the way, if you want to be sitting in the chair that Sandy's sitting in, you can. You need to send me an email at paul at beginwithyes.com and let me know you want to sit in Sandy's chair. And if you can't actually sit in Sandy's chair, but you want to join us by Skype, you can do that from anywhere in the world. So you can be here with me talking about your stuff. So thanks again for being here. Have a great week, and we'll see you again soon.